Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another session of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations with Chaos Counseling.
Yeah, Vidalia!
I was always in love with this sprite. I love her fucking hair.
I know!
I want hair.
I love
like
how
that.
they did the sheen in her
Yeah.
wrap, too.
Yes.
It's so nice.
I love this sprite.
I had been planning to go back to Feenie's place after class was over. Feenie and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feenie noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn.
Oh, boy.
And nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth.
But I would never...
That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies.
You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey.
What is this? You two are acquainted?
Yes, we've met before. Once.
In any case, Miss Fay, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madame Fey.
Madame! I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie!
I'll call you whatever I want.
I could call you whatever I want, but I'm a professional. Just like what?
It's like we're about to have a throwdown here in like 2 seconds. Except I have a weapon, a parasol.
Yeah, I have a weapon. Justice!
What?
We're having a little cat fight here, don't mind us.
Oh, and also you read the murder? Did you read the clipping on the murder
Yes.
thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, fun way to die.
Yep.
Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right?
I was watching the whole time. Feenie never did a thing to Dougie.
I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Oh no, David!
I know what you're thinking.
I heard David.
Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne.
It's falling.
David is falling.
David, no! David!
Oh, David!
Oh, David!
Oh, David! I think that should work. Okay.
Oh, David.
Oh, David.
David.
Anyway, let's drop the lies, Miss Hawthorne, shall we?
What? I would never.
Miss Fay, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting. Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim.
What?
There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth.
There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony.
Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. So then, what did it look like they were doing to you?
I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation.
Oh, give me a break!
Payne's voice is destroying my vocals.
That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Mr. Judge. Excuse me, Mr. Fudge.
Mr. Fudge!
Oh, pardon me, Mr. Fudge.
No, please proceed. You can call me whatever you want, by the way. Please proceed with your testimony.
Thank you, Mr. Judge.
Give me a break. You say you didn't hear any noise, is that correct?
Yes, that's why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me.
That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here a testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise.
He said that?
If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well?
Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable.
But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression.
May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
I know the reason I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean the both of your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble.
Thunder and lightning, huh?
Very, very frightening.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out.
Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all.
Wait a second, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, what about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Faye.
This coming from the person that's actually secretly a medium. Anyway.
Right?
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
Oh.
What?
I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me.
Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway?
Ow.
Wonder when time lapses.
This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But the very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt.
Yes! What? Natural disasters.
Whoa!
It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
All right, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you don't.
I'm heard that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye.
Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know.
Wait, what?
The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor.
No, go back.
No, I'm not a fool. Leave me alone, random citizen.
No, let the court show that you said that you weren't a fool. I would like to cross-examine the prosecution. And
We
that's
found that there were no lightning strikes on the day at that location.
That's how Mia and freaking Phoenix's relationship started, and Court was like, no, hold on, no, he has a point.
What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence?
This affidavit.
And who is this affidavit from?
The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
All of the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, the cables have become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
Woo!
However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, and it wouldn't have snapped if it had been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor. Crap! I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break?
Wait, Grossberg's 61?
Yeah, he's old as fuck.
I didn't notice that last time. Okay.
Yeah, so that means he's 66 now.
Oh, jeez. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony.
The defendant's testimony?
He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct?
Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that?
The lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage.
Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion. And it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted.
I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne.
What's that supposed to mean?
Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into the pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break.
Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by this severed cable in the foreground here.
Ah!
In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim.
Ah!
Order! Order in the court!
Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them.
It's true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have...
Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? Madame Attorney's explanation? She said some things that are a little different than I remembered them.
What the?
Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
Of course it's all right. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony.
This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors.
The truth is, Feeny pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole, and that's when the cable broke. And Dougie tried his best to run away from him. But Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. Cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute.
So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. And that,
I know the contradiction already.
And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time.
I'm so sorry, Feeny, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fang, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Gladly.
I do wonder where those butterflies came from.
I know, because it's such a tight room.
And also, like, now, okay.
Oh,
Now
okay.
I'm just going where it wants to.
Steve, why?
Where are we going, Steve?
Steve, come back.
Stay where you be, Steve!
Where are we going? Objection! That's enough, witness.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Look at this photograph!
Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold.
It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Fang?
My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping?
Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m.
Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval?
A 10-minute gap! Everybody look out!
Matt probably hates us at this point.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
But he doesn't know.
He can't hurt him.
He doesn't know we exist yet. The defense proposes
Never
that... Never will. It was...
Senpai.
Senpai. During this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow.
Order stuff.
This is nonsense! The real murderer?
Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for.
Oh good, it's not just me who can't say electrocution. Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it?
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene was there a window of opportunity for the real killer.
Miss Fang, is the defense ready to indict someone as the real killer? It is indict, right?
I think so.
I hope so.
It's finally time. This time is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready.
Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fang. Now then, Miss Fang, let's have it. Who is the real killer?
Let's call it an episode.
Oh, okay. Alrighty, find out who done it next time.
Next time.